Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin with a truth that may sting a little, but will serve you for lifing the world doesn't need to know your every move. In fact, too often, the habit of over-talking is the assassin of destiny. We live in an age where people believe that sharing equals progress, that posting it makes it real, that talking about a dream somehow brings it to life. But here's the truth: the more you broadcast your plans, the less power you give them. So today, I challenge you to embrace strategic silence. And here are 5 principles that will keep your dreams alive, strong, and protecting power doesn't shout. It doesn't boast. It doesn't parade itself around, begging for attention or validation. Real power grows in silence, steadily, deliberately, and without applause. Just like a seed planted in the soil, it doesn't cry out for the sun or brag about its future as a towering tree. It simply roots itself deeply, gathering strength far beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of the world. This is the nature of true growth. It happens quietly, when you're building something worthwhile, a vision, a business, a skill, a better version of yourself. The most dangerous thing you can do is talk too much about it. You see, talking about what you're going to do satisfies the ego, but it weakens the spirit. It creates the illusion of progress without the labor of it. People clap for your intentions, and suddenly you start mistaking noise for movement. But intentions are not results. Promises are not progress. Silence, on the other hand, preserves your energy. It channels your focus. It shields you from the opinions and projections of others. It gives your ideas space to breathe without the weight of expectation pressing down on them. There's strength in being underestimated. There's freedom in moving quietly. The world is distracted by spectacle, by the ones who shout the loudest, post the most, demand attention. But those who truly shift the world, they are working while others are watching. They are building in silence, refining in solitude, mastering their craft in the dark, so that when they emerge, their results cannot be denied. Power is not proven in promises. It's proven in performance. And the most potent kind of power doesn't need a microphone. It needs discipline. It needs consistency. It needs silence. So stop announcing your every move. Let your silence become your strategy. Let your results become your roar. And remember this: when power is real, it doesn't need to be declared. It is felt. There is a hidden danger in speaking too soon. Every time you talk about what you're going to do, every plan, every goal, every ambition, you're giving away a piece of the energy that was meant to help you do it. The mind doesn't always know the difference between action and intention. When you describe your dreams in detail to others, your brain releases the same chemicals as if you had already begun. You feel accomplished, but nothing's actually changed. Talking gives you the reward before you've earned it. This is how drive dies. Not with failure, not with rejection, but with too much discussion. The more you explain, the more you expose. The more you share, the more you invite distraction. You start entertaining praise before you've done anything to deserve it. You start answering questions instead of solving problems. And before long, the fire that once burned in silence has cooled into casual conversation. There's nothing wrong with having big dreams. In fact, you should have them. But understand this: your drive is sacred. It's not fuel to be spilled out over coffee tables or Instagram captions. It's meant to be harnessed, protected, directed into action, not scattered through conversation. Talking too much is the easiest way to feel like you're moving without moving at all. It creates a false sense of momentum, and it fools you into thinking that because you said it, you've started. But words are cheap. Anyone can speak. Drive, real drive, it shows up in silence. It shows up when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when no one even knows what you're building. If you feel that spark in you, if there's something great you want to accomplish, don't waste that energy explaining it. Let it grow quietly. Let it shape you through work, not words. Hold it close. Protect it from applause, from opinions, from the noise of the world. Because once you start talking too much about it, you'll talk yourself out of it. Let silence feed your hunger. Let your effort do the talking. And when the time is right, When the work is done, let the world see what discipline built in the quiet. One of the most important lessons you'll ever learn is this: not everyone belongs in your inner circle. Just because someone is in your life doesn't mean they've earned the right to hear your thoughts, witness your growth, or be invited into your vision. Too many people make the mistake of giving front row access to individuals who haven't paid the price of loyalty, understanding, or respect. You must be selective with your energy, your time, and especially your words. When you share your dreams too freely, you open yourself up to criticism, jealousy, doubt, and distractions. And not all of it will come from enemies. Sometimes it's the people closest to you, the ones who claim to support you, who unknowingly sabotage you. They question your timing. They raise concerns disguised as care. They project their own limitations onto your limitless future. Not out of evil, but out of small thinking. Some people simply don't have the vision to see what you see, and that's okay. But you don't owe them an explanation. Your life isn't a stage for their approval. It's a path you walk with clarity, purpose, and boundaries. You have to protect your dream like a flame in the wind. Shield it from those who can't handle the heat. The ones who haven't built anything will always try to tear down what you're building. That's why you can't grant everyone access to your blueprint. Some people only come close so they can steal from it. Others want to sit close enough to watch you, but not close enough to help. Reserve your front row for those who believe in you even when you doubt yourself. The quiet encouragers, the honest supporters, the ones who celebrate your wins in silence and challenge you to rise when you fall. Everyone else, they can watch from the back, or not at all. Your future is too valuable to be shared with small minds. Your goals are too sacred to be diluted by average opinions. You weren't born to seek applause. You were born to execute. So stop oversharing. Stop asking for feedback from people who've never done what you're trying to do. And stop giving away VIP seats to people who don't clap when you win. Build your life like a fortress. Only let in those who bring peace, purpose, and strength. The rest can stand outside and wonder how you did it. There's something you need to understand early in your journey, the moment you open your mouth about your plans, when the critics begin to gather. Speak too soon, and you attract attention that your vision isn't ready to withstand. The early stages of any dream are fragile, too delicate to survive the weight of outside judgment, especially when your roots haven't taken hold yet. When you talk before you act, you invite analysis before you've built evidence. You hand your ideas over to the opinions of people who've never walked your path, never carried your burdens, never dared to dream beyond their comfort zones. And once you speak, you can't take it back. Now your goals are public property, free for others to dissect, debate, and doubt. And doubt, once it enters the room, spreads fast. People will question your timing, your worthiness, your methods. Not because you're wrong, but because your ambition reminds them of everything they're not doing. It's easier to criticize than to create, easier to judge than to build. So when you speak too soon, you give small minds something to target. And critics never miss the chance to shoot at what they don't understand. Worse still, when premature exposure forces you into performance mode. Now you're working not for progress, but for validation. You're adjusting your steps to avoid criticism instead of following your true direction. That's how dreams get diluted. That's how momentum dies. Not from failure, but from too many outside voices turning your purest intentions into compromised plans. You must learn the power of holding back, of building in silence, of protecting your process from the noise of the world. Not because you're hiding, but because you're cultivating. A farmer doesn't invite the village to judge the soil before the crops grow. He waits until there's a harvest. You should too. Let them talk after it's done. Let them speculate after you've succeeded. Give them something undeniable, not something in progress they can poke holes in. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. And maturity is knowing that just because you're ready to build doesn't mean the world is ready to watch. Protect the early chapters. Speak when it's time. Until then, Stay focused, stay quiet, and let the critics starve while your results grow. Focus is not just a tool, it's a fortress. It's your defense against the noise, the distractions, the chaos of the world pulling you in every direction. In a world that profits off your attention, your ability to focus is a form of rebellion. It's how you protect your vision from erosion. It's how you keep your mind sharp, your actions aligned, and your purpose intact. When you stay focused, you're building walls around what matters. Not walls to people out, but to keep your priorities in. You're refusing to let every opinion, every message, every shiny distraction barge into your mental space. You're saying no to the irrelevant so you can say a deeper, more powerful yes to your mission. Distractions don't always look like interruptions. Sometimes they come dressed as harmless conversations, as innocent scrolling, as well-meaning suggestions. But every time you take your eyes off your target, even for a moment, you lose time, clarity, and energy, and those losses add up. Drip by drip, they flood the foundation of everything you're trying to build. When you tell everyone what you're doing, you fracture that focus. You start managing reactions instead of managing results. You start performing instead of producing. And when your attention is divided between building and explaining, both suffer. You can't construct anything solid with a scattered mind. Focus requires discipline. It requires solitude. It requires you to get brutally honest about what matters and ruthlessly eliminate what doesn't. That might mean disappearing for a while. That might mean being misunderstood. That might mean turning down invites, silencing your phone, or saying, "Not now," to things that seem urgent but aren't important. But here's the payoff. When your focus is intact, your power multiplies. You get more done in 1 year of locked-in effort than in 10 years of distracted motion. You move with purpose. You speak less. You execute more. And while others are busy explaining themselves, you're building something that doesn't need explanation. Your focus is your fortress. Guard it like your life depends on it, because in a way it does. The life you dream of, the version of you that you're trying to become, is waiting behind those walls. Build them, hold them, and let nothing break through unless it feeds your fire. My friends, you don't need applause before the performance. You don't need permission to pursue your dream. And you certainly don't need to speak every time you feel inspired. Discipline your voice, guard your vision, and move with quiet fire, because the strongest winds are silent, and the strongest people are too. Thank you.